you just like introduce yourself and your relation to FD Hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Sonia Rappaport. I'm the president and founder of FD Hope.
All right. What is familial dysautonomia?
Familial dysautonomia is an inherited, therefore genetic, neurological disorder. It causes problems in the autonomic and the sensory nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system that helps you do things without thinking about it. It sets your heart rate, your blood pressure, helps you cry tears, digest your food. The sensory nervous system is how you feel pain and temperature. And so children with familial dysautonomia, their bodies can do that, they just don't do that as well. And some kids don't do some of those things well at all. There's one child with familial dysautonomia, for instance, who one time got his hand stuck in the door, a sliding glass door, and he started to cry, not because it was hurting as it would for you or me when you got your hand smashed in a door, but because he was stuck. He didn't feel the pain at all. Other kids have walked with broken legs and not known it. The autonomic part of familial dysautonomia affects heart rate, blood pressure. So on an average day, a child with familial dysautonomia may have very low blood pressure. They might get up from a chair and pass out or feel like they're going to pass out. And then they can have very high blood pressure in episodes called autonomic crisis, where their blood pressure is very high, the heart rate goes up. They can't sleep, they may vomit for 24 to 48 hours straight.
What's the mission of FD Hope?
Well, FD Hope was started in the year 2001. In February of 2001. We founded FD Hope as a nonprofit organization to try to raise money to find a cure. There are several labs throughout the world, and we've funded some of the best of the labs that have done research in familial dysautonomia. And so our mission is to find a cure and better treatment options for FD.
Okay, so kind of repetitive, but when and why did you found FD Hope?
In February 2001. In January 2001, two articles were published simultaneously in the American Journal of Human Genetics identifying the specific mutation that caused FD. One lab had been sponsored by one foundation. The other lab had just come out of the blue, and there was a big schism in the FD community with people wanting to only fund one group of people, and we just felt that there needed to be competition, that the more labs involved and the more people looking at this problem and trying to come up with solutions, the better. And so we found it as a way of making sure that happened.
What does the organization do?
We do fundraising appeals every year. We send, and then we fund research. We have sent money to a lab in New York at Fordham University that has found some supplements. This was the lab that found the mutation originally. They also, with FD Hope funding, determined that one of the mechanisms that causes that autonomic crisis with the vomiting and high blood pressure is similar to some of the mechanisms found in a similar kind of episode of high blood pressure when people are on certain medications, and that led to dietary interventions. We've also funded a lab in Israel, actually a consortium of labs in Israel, that have found additional supplemental supplements, phosphatidylserine, for instance, that helps improve normal gene expression. And so some of the best things that we're the most proud of are the research that we've done to improve normal gene expression. Currently there are 3 different things that can help kids with FD improve the amount of normal gene product and therefore have fewer symptoms. We also do some support of families. We're predominantly working on the research there.
How does the organization benefit the community?
Which community?
Our local community.
Our local community is benefited, I think, because we're doing well in the world, doing good in the world. Nonprofits are a challenge this day. It's difficult to raise money, and in our community there are 2 children with familial dysautonomia. Being a rare disorder, it's called an orphan disorder because there aren't big pharmaceutical companies trying to find drugs for this disorder. makes it really hard to help these kids. And because we have 2 children in our community with FD, we're helping that portion of the community that really there's very little help for otherwise.
What impacts has FD Hope had on the FD community?
Well, actually twofold. The one impact certainly has been in fundraising and finding solutions, finding some answers, helping to understand the disorder and how it works, and finding ways to help improve the lives of kids. We've written materials. We have a GI booklet on the intestinal tract and familial dysautonomia, and helping people and other doctors understand it so they can treat their patients better. We've been a resource to families and to physicians of patients with familial dysautonomia. We've done certainly funded the research to provide better options and treatments. And then, as I alluded to earlier, by being another organization in a world where there was only one organization that was really sluggish in moving forward, we just provided some good competition to get more people on board.
What are the organization's future plans?
Well, our future plans are basically to continue the fundraising that we're doing, continue the research that we're doing. A new article came out just this past month on the use of phosphatidylserine. One of the exciting things about doing this kind of work in orphan diseases is, in particular the case of familial dysautonomia, is that it's such a specific problem in this part of the autonomic nervous system, and it can teach a lot about other disorders that have autonomic dysfunction, things like diabetes, multiple sclerosis, mitochondrial dysfunction. And so we want to just continue that work, not just to help the kids with FD, but other disorders as well.
What are your main sources of donations?
We generally get donations from individuals. We've had some success in getting donations from other organizations that donate to other nonprofits, but it's really been through individuals and through matching grants.
Who does the organization benefit?
The organization benefits individuals with familial dysautonomia. As I said, it's an autonomic and sensory neuropathy. It's a Jewish genetic disorder, which means that one individual, probably around 500, maybe 600 years ago, had a spontaneous mutation. FD is a point mutation. If you have studied genetics and remember anything from your genetics, it's a point mutation. And so every individual with familial dysautonomia is a descendant of that first individual that had the spontaneous mutation. That individual was Jewish, so everyone with familial dysautonomia has some Jewish roots. So it benefits the Jewish community as well.
What can the community do to help FD Hope?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, we're a very small, all-volunteer organization. We do our fundraising out of this office, my practice, and so right around October, November, we have need for people who don't mind stamping and licking envelopes, or actually have those fun little envelope sponges, just so that we can help get the appeals out, and donations.
Awesome, thank you.